What's up, guys and gals, and welcome to Veve Vibes. And today we're going to be doing a quick vibe check on the market. Today is, I'm looking at my phone, September 22nd at about 7:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. First things first, I've already queued up for the waitlist. By the time you guys watch this video, it's already going to be too late. But I'm just letting you know this is the time frame of the prices that we're going over. So it's going to be between about 7:30 a.m. and about 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this is just before the Aladdin drop, or during the Aladdin drop, I guess, technically. So if you see the prices are a bit different, that's why. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. I have a very small list of things I did want to kind of go over. And if you guys do have certain things you want me to cover in like the next vibe check video, just let me know, hey, can you cover this next time, or this series of drops, or season one this, or whatever it is. First thing we'll do is actually we'll jump into the golden moments. I do know those prices have been somewhat volatile recently. Let's look at the golden moments. And again, I'm using what's called my NFT tracker. I do know there's some other platforms that people use, but right now those platforms either I don't like, or they're they're just currently being worked on right now. But as of right now, we have it from release date. Let's go ahead and look at the 24-hour trend first. So what's actually up right now is Donald and Daisy. That's up about 12%. So it's at 50 gems right now. Iron Man is at 89 gems. I remember this thing pumped up to like 120 at one point during the Iron Man kind of announcement, right? The more interactive one where he's like flying and shooting his like repulsor beams and stuff. Avengers logo went up a little bit too as well, 11%. Not sure why that is. Maybe because it's Iron Man. Maybe because it's the Avengers Tower hype, and there's still a lot of people talking about it ever since the Veveverse. Wally's up a bit, about 5 gems. So that's 10%. Elsa's also up about 5%. So she's at 127 right now. Lady and the Tramp, still in the gutter at 38 gems, but still double FA at the end of the day. Winnie the Pooh's 3%. And right about here, everything is pretty much either even or down a bit. Right now, Walt's actually surprising. It's actually pushing pretty close to 2K. It's kind of crazy to think that, not too long ago, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I mean, this Walt was pushing, I guess at this point, pretty much 2 years ago, this Walt was pushing 30, 40K this time, right around this time, 2 years ago. Right now, he's getting to about 2,000 gems for the most part. R2D2 is also down a tiny bit, about 3% at 268. Lamp and Disney D, I do think these are a bit underrated. I do know the mint numbers are a little bit high for both of these, but the fact that it's like the classic Disney logo in addition to the Aladdin lamp, which I'm not sure if it's animated, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I do see like the mist and stuff flowing out. I think it looks really cool. I do think the lamp looks really cool. As of right now, I think the only golden moments I technically own right now is just the Donald and Daisy, but I do want to circle back around. I do think these prices could get a little bit cheaper with a lot of huge FA announcements coming up like over here in the next couple months, but I do want to pick up things like Iron Man and Elsa, pretty much, I don't want to say exclusively, but pretty much just the first set of golden moments that came out. That includes like C3PO, R2D2, that kind of stuff. I can't afford Walt just yet. I mean, I could, I just don't want to. I do think it could get a bit cheaper before I kind of rebuy that. So next thing I do want to look at is the pencils. I mean, I think it's only fair that we're getting the final pencil drop. What do the pencils look like before this drop happens? Looks like prices have gone up a tiny bit. So Tinkerbell pencils up to 20 gems. The Frozen 2 pencils at 22 gems, or is at 20 gems as well. Lion King pencils at 15, and the Wreck-It Ralph pencils down to 42. So that is actually down about 12.5%. And as of right now, if you wanted the desk, let's say even if you completely whiff on the Aladdin drop, in the secondary, when they airdrop it, about a week from now, I think you're still going to be able to get the pencil for about 15, 20 gems. So as of right now, if anybody wanted the animated desk and just kind of just buy the pencils, ignore the FAs, all that kind of stuff, right now you can pick it up for what, 40, 55, 97 gems just for these four. And then if you pick up the last pencil, that will be about 113 gems, 115 gems. We'll even round it up a little bit, call it 120 gems. I mean, right now you can get the desk for under 120 gems, which if you believe it's going to have this crazy animation style and all that kind of stuff, definitely go for it. So if you guys do like the desk, me personally, I'm passing on it. I might FOMO into it. I will say if Veve/Disney announces the desk and it does some crazy animation with insane utility and this and that, maybe I'll FOMO into the pencils and kind of rebuy them. But right now they're pretty darn cheap, and I do think the whales are done stacking Wreck-It Ralph pencils. I think they've already kind of made their stance on that clear. So I think the Wreck-It Ralph pencils might just go down a little bit more before then. Let's see. Another one I wanted to look at was just the Hulks. Obviously, we got the Hulk airdrop. We've been kind of waiting for that for the better part of 2 months now. Let me see actually when this released. So Planet Hulk was the most recent one. This released in August 22nd. So today is September 22nd. So it's been exactly a month since we've got the Planet Hulk drop. Still no announcement of an airdrop, what it is, how soon, all that stuff. So I think a lot of people are holding out on it. Prices have gone down significantly. Let's just look at the collectibles, kind of get it clean here. So we have animated Hulk. It's actually below retail right now, which is crazy to think because I think just maybe people are just getting bored, or maybe people are selling it now before they think the airdrop is announced or it happens. Because when the airdrop is announced, I do think prices will go up a tiny bit, and then after the airdrop minting, or when you can actually turn them in and like mint it, then the prices are definitely gonna plummet even lower. So that could be a good time to pick up Hulk, because after that airdrop minting, this price could go down even lower. Again, at the end of the day, none of this is financial advice, but just kind of like my take on it. But right now, Planet Hulk is up a tiny bit. He's at 169 gems. Is it Maestro? I think it's Maestro. 26 gems. And dude, Red Hulk pulled back a ton. I remember a day when he was pushing 200 gems for the better part of like 2 months, a month and a half. He was between 150 to 200 gems for the better part of like 2 months. And now he's all the way down, even below retail, at 65 gems at one point. Right now he's at 69 gems. Again, I do think all the people that want the airdrop have bought and held. Prices are started to plummet. The people that were kind of just in it for the profit, or the people that are just impatient, are just kind of flooring their Hulks. And to be honest, I don't blame them. I don't blame them for flooring it. And I think this is the kind of thing where maybe Marvel/Veve are kind of experimenting with like, all right, should we kind of announce to people, hey, buy this set, and then the airdrop is very, very shortly after the Planet Hulk drop, or maybe people are just Veve's just giving people the opportunity to buy Planet Hulk and kind of finish the set, or maybe buy some other things. I'm not too sure. I would love to hear Veve's, not really say a reason, but I'm just curious if they'll tell us why it took longer than normal for us to get the airdrop after we completed the set. They might say, yeah, it's up to the licensor, we have no say, or they might say, hey, we wanted to kind of try this and that. Obviously, prices have plummeted a ton. That was not our intention, but we'll see. Another one I want to look at is just recent FAs. So if you look at release date, it's kind of hard. And again, there's nothing as far as I know, like even if I type in first appearance in here, first appearance, that's all gone. If I type in FA, it doesn't really show me the FAs. It just shows me everything with the words FA in it. So obviously Latin drop hasn't happened yet, but I mostly wanted to focus on the FAs that were part of the pencil drop. So mostly like this, like Tinkerbell, Lion King, that kind of stuff. So right now, Tinkerbell is pretty darn cheap. So 44 gems for the secret rare. I mean, as of right now, you could buy the whole set for about 70 gems, just under 70 gems, if you care to go for those. Let's see if we can find Lion King. So Lion King FA. So right now, Simba is at 35 gems, so below retail. Scar's at 70, so he's just about 50% or so above retail. And then Rafiki is at 15 gems right now. So it's just crazy to think that, and I hate to keep bringing up like the past, right? I mean, that was the bull run. That was just kind of an insane moment, and just not just the market, but also Veve, crypto, all kinds of stuff. But I remember someone asked me on a stream, like, hey, what do you think Simba would have gone for if it was 2 years ago, like late 2022, late 2021, early 2022, especially with these mint numbers. It's kind of hard to say, because I do think the mint numbers would have been much higher. Like right now we have less than 2,500 mints for Simba. But if it was that scarce back then, and of course we had bots and all that stuff, like this easily would have been over 1,000 gems back in the bull market. Like if we're looking at lenticular cards now, and how like Goofy and all that stuff was like above $3,000, like this case, Simba, I think Simba would have been close to that, probably well over 1,000, probably maybe 1,500 gems. It's really hard to tell, but with this scarcity, it was just such an insane time back then. So yeah, with Scar, it's just kind of crazy to see all these FAs that people would have gone crazy for 2 years ago. Now they're just being sold for basically less than retail at this point. Let's just see the other pencil drops. I might have to go back a little bit further. Elsa, Olaf, and Anna. Elsa again below retail at 25 gems. Olaf is at 40, pretty much at retail. for the most part. I think it's because the animation, he's kind of goofy. To be honest, I've never seen Frozen. It's been on my bucket list for a while to watch, but I either keep forgetting or I just have better things to do with my time, to be quite frank. And then Anna right now is also at 71. So pretty much pretty close in tandem to like Lion King. Like Scar is at 70 gems, except Rafiki, probably because it's not animated, is at 15 gems. And then like we saw with Simba, that's 35. So Simba's higher than Elsa, but Elsa's not an FA. We have a FA Elsa as a golden moment. And then Wreck-It Ralph, yeah, Ralph right now is below 11 gems. Vanellope is pretty much below retail, which is kind of surprising. I was fortunate to get her on the drop. So far, like the pencils have been very profitable for me. And then same thing with Fix-It Felix. He's at below 9 gems right now, even though he is animated. And I think people have already been smart enough to kind of price in the pencil on these drops. I do think the first drop, people weren't necessarily doing that. People had no idea what the price the Wreck-It Ralph pencils at, because those were the first ones to come out. Just out of curiosity, I'm just kind of curious to see what the pricing of the pencils have done. Yeah, they were pretty low. They were pretty much at retail for a little bit. So about 35 to 40 gems, I would say, the first couple days. People were still trying to figure out like how to price it. So pretty much if you landed anything and you sold the pencil, it was just guaranteed profit, right? For the most part, and the prices started going up. I think this is when whales started accumulating, just to kind of help restrict the supply on the desks. Then it started pulling back to 42. Then there was either another purchase, maybe there was another announcement. Maybe this was around Aladdin. Yeah, I think this was around the announcement of Aladdin, and the price went from 42 up to almost 60 gems again, and now it's pulling back. People are taking profits for the most part. So let's see. All right, let's go ahead and look at just the common comics. Kind of take a look at the floor of comics and just see the 24-hour trend. We're already almost at 12 minutes. Maybe I need to kind of restrict my explanations for certain things and just kind of keep it a bit shorter, but we'll see. And again, if you guys have anything you want me to cover, just let me know down in the comments below. Common comics, this is the not release date. I want the 24-hour trend. So we'll just kind of double time it through here. So what's up right now? It's the Mickey Mouse takes in space. Again, I think it's just the floors for a lot of this stuff is very, very thin for the most part. Actually, first appearance of Green Goblin is up about 38%. So I'm not sure if people just bought quite a few of these. Let's look at the chart really quick. Okay, just look at the last 3 days. Wonder if it's just delistings. So maybe the floor was just super thin, because according to this, the listings went from 108 to 105, and the price just jumped up a full like 30-ish% or so. So I think it was just the floors were just super, super thin. So people bought half a dozen of them or a little bit less, and then the price just flew up. Eternals number 1, Fantastic Four number 12, Strange Tales, first appearance of Doctor Strange. That one's up 22%. X-Men, first appearance of Scarlet Witch, and I believe Quicksilver, both in the same comic. That one's also up 20%. So it was at about 5.5 gems, and now it's up to 6.5 gems. The more comics that are going up here. So this was actually Avengers number 1 was at retail for quite some time, and I think someone might have picked up a couple of them. Now it's at 21 gems, but it's essentially at retail. I remember when first appearance of Kingpin, there was a lot of hype around this. I'm not sure if it was because Marvel did a tweet or there was something that happened with this comic over the last few months that gave it like a lot of hype. And I remember this thing flew up to, I want to say like 12, or maybe this thing isn't capturing it, but I could have sworn it went up to, at one point it was at 6.5, and it basically just doubled in price like overnight. And I'm not sure if there was just a tweet or announcement or something like that just happened with it. And the price recently went up, doubled, but that's obviously retraced here for a bit. Yeah, and the rest of these are up about 15% or so. And right now at this point we're talking fractions of a gem, and there's still a lot of common comics. I know I brought it up on the last one, but there's still a lot of common comics below gem and a half right now. So actually let's flip this. Wow, Amazing Fantasy 15, actually let me flip that. Amazing Fantasy 15 is at 250, all-time low right now. And actually let's see if that's the case. Actually gonna go to Veve directly. Wonder if that's just a solo listing that kind of just stayed there for a second then got caught up, or is the floor genuinely 250? Yeah, the floor is at 250 right now. I remember I bought mine for 305. There was a lot of resistance for Amazing Fantasy 15 at 300 multiple times over the last year, and I thought that was kind of the resistance level. And I'm like, all right, seems like whenever it approaches 300, people just buy it up, or at least like below 300, people buy it up instantly. But 250, that's a, you know, and this is kind of what I said earlier, like, hey, I bought it at 305, but I do think it can go lower given enough time. And I do think prices across the board, comics, collectibles, whatever it is, as time moves on, unless there's some huge announcement, some huge utility, or some other stuff that happens, or something to onboard new users, I do think prices are going to keep pulling back. Same thing with just crypto in general, right? I do think, as much as people like to say Veve and Omi and all that stuff doesn't like follow crypto too much, it kind of does its own thing. It does, but at the same time, it doesn't. I feel like the better crypto does, the better Omi does, and then as that does better, or as there's like marketing stuff that comes out, Veve also tends to do very good. So we flip this, yeah, and there's still a ton of comics. I remember for a long time, two gems was like basically the floor for comics for a very, very long time. People were saying, all right, 2 gems is just too cheap for even trash tier comics. I'm going to buy it no matter what. But now we're pulling back to the point where things are, you know, getting below 2 gems. Things are at a gem and a half. There's actually pages and pages and pages of common comics that are below 2 gems right now, either at 2 gems or below 2 gems. So, you know, first appearance of Mr. Sinister. I think this is like the Magneto goes on trial. There's the first appearance of Bullseye that we just missed. First appearance of Luke Cage. Like there's some pretty decent ones, and I do realize the mint numbers on some of these are a bit high in the sense of like 20,000, 30,000, some of them even 60,000. So that's part of the reason why they're a bit cheaper. But I do think people are consolidating a lot of their collection to kind of focus more on grails, even though grail prices are pulling back. In general, like we just saw with AF15, I do think some people are consolidating their collection, or they're just trying to get liquidity in gems, because at this point, gems is pretty much king for the most part. So, all right, we're at 16 minutes, almost 17 minutes. So I appreciate you guys bearing with me there. And if you guys want me to cover anything, put it down in the comments below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and good luck on the Aladdin drop. If you got one, great. If not, don't get heartbroken. If you want to go for the pencil drop, you can. Like I said, at this point, you can pretty much buy all the pencils eventually when we get the ladder one for like 120 gems, which could be a lot. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care. Double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw yourself over, and I'll catch you guys next time.